Your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Michael Coates.
We're still getting some scattered showers tonight, and we're going to continue to see that threat, a minor threat of some overnight thunder showers, but we're going to start to work in some drier air finally, and we're going to change up the weather pattern as we get into the weekend with warmer temperatures, and we'll start to see those warmer temps as early as tomorrow. Live look right now through the Farm Bureau cam. Pocatello, we're at 66, winds at 7 miles an hour with a thunderstorm over the airport coming into town. We're at 67 right now in Idaho Falls, no wind, and we're clearing out from the thunderstorms earlier, but we did have some good storms through South Pocatello, the Mink Creek, Black Rock, and Inkom areas. We even had a flash flood warning issued earlier today. Jerry sent this in from the Black Rock area, marble-sized hail here, and we had a pretty good dose of hail in the Mink Creek mixed with rain. And that was also contributing to a bit of some flooding. Shell sent this picture in from the Mink Creek area south of Pocatello. Biggest concern here is the burn area. Even though the fire, the Charlotte fire, burned about 2 years ago, the threat for flooding and mudslides is still there, and that's going to be concerned here as we get more thunderstorms into the area. But now things are starting to wind down. We're going to get into a drier pattern, so we're getting to start to dry out the ground a little bit here. We won't be so saturated like we've been for the past couple of weeks. So over to First Alert Viper radar. We have another band of thunderstorms, like I mentioned, moving into Pocatello, leaving American Falls into the Arbon Valley as well, pushing into South Bannock County, also getting into the Marsh Valley. We also had a few thunderstorms getting into Bingham County. In fact, if I take a little closer, and even some bright yellows and reds here still on Viper radar, indicating some moderate to heavy rainfall. And again, that's heading right to Chubbuck with some lightning strikes. We move into around Blackfoot, Firth. Starting to see that thunderstorm, weak little thunderstorm leaving Blackfoot, getting into Firth and Shelley right now, and that's going to scrape against Idaho Falls here. And also been tracking some thunderstorms north of Salmon with quite a bit of lightning here, especially along Highway 93 as you get up to Lost Trail Pass there along the Montana border. Generally, though, we're going to see a drier forecast here for the next couple of days, and the thunderstorm threat will be much lower. Here's why. That low is going to continue to travel into Montana. It's going to take most of the moisture along with it. High pressure starts building back in from the southwest, and we're going to start to warm things back up, and we're going to head into the mid-80s in terms of high temperatures with a few thunderstorms thrown in for good measure. So tonight, the thunderstorm threat, yes, still with us, but as we go through the overnight hours, we'll dry up, and we'll look for a fairly nice sunny start to our Friday morning with a few passing clouds. Then we get into Friday afternoon. Still a slight chance of a thunderstorm here around Pocatello, Foothill, Bench areas. Could see another storm tomorrow, also around Idaho Falls, northward and eastward into the mountains. Just a slight chance of a thunderstorm for Friday afternoon. Saturday morning, great, and Saturday afternoon, even drier. Just a few thunderclouds trying to get north of Island Park. And then as you zoom out and take into Sunday here in the Vipercast model, you'll notice moisture to the north, moisture to the south and to the east, but we are in the dry spot. And it will be breezy tomorrow because we're going to change up the weather pattern. So winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Your gusts tomorrow at 25. That continues into Saturday as well. Lows tonight back to around the lower 40s for Stanley, lower 50s in Salmon, and we're hitting the mid 50s in Idaho Falls, upper 40s for Jackson, upper 40s in Island Park with the lower 60s. Pretty mild tonight in Pocatello, and a few of those scattered thunder showers still with us. 55 for Lava Hot Springs, 49 in Montpelier, and the same for Afton in the Star Valley. Temperatures tomorrow, we're coming back to warmer levels. We're pushing 70s into the mountains, 80s into the valleys, and the mid 80s across the Snake River Plain. 81 for Soda with 85 for Pocatello, Blackfoot, and Idaho Falls, hitting the lower 80s in American Falls with the 70s around Jackson, lower 80s in Driggs, the lower 80s in St. Anthony and Dubois, 83 at the site, 80 in Mackay, and 85 in Salmon. The 8-day forecast moving forward, you'll notice a drier pattern here with highs into the mid to lower 80s Saturday and Sunday. Now, I'm going to call for winds tomorrow to be breezy, and again on Saturday with winds at around 20 to 25 miles an hour. Pocatello, highs here into the lower 80s here for Saturday and Sundays, or mid 80s, I should say, for Pocatello. We'll call it 84 to 86 for the weekend, and even warmer conditions near 90 into Monday and Tuesday. Rexburg, looking at those lower 80s for this Saturday and Sunday. We'll call it 82 for Saturday with breezy conditions. Again, winds at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Get a couple thunderstorms getting close to town. Blackfoot highs here around the mid 80s. Next few days and into the weekend, we'll hit the mid 80s also next week with a fairly dry pattern. Mountain locations could see some thunderstorms, and that's going to be happening especially tomorrow and in the middle of next week here with highs into the upper 70s. We'll head back into the mid-40s at night. That's Jackson Hole here. A couple thunderstorms for Friday and Wednesday. Island Park could also see a couple thunderstorms here for tomorrow and then again the middle of next week with highs into the upper 70s with mid-40s overnight lows. And as we go to the mountains towards central Idaho, there could be a few thunderstorms tomorrow in Salmon with highs into the mid-80s, and we'll see a dry weekend with highs getting close to 90. Todovic?
Thanks, Mike. Coming up later on Newsline, would you be more tempted to order room service if a robot brought it to you? Well, one California hotel hopes so. And the death of Robin Williams this week has inspired many tributes to the actor and comedian. Tonight, we'll take a closer look at some of the best. The United States is done with the rescue and humanitarian mission in Iraq.